Hello and good morning. Today is January the 13th. It's a Wednesday. It's 2021. So this is my second and final order I placed with Sentai on with their holiday sale they had going on. It arrived this morning, just a little while ago. Still haven't received the back-ordered item from the first order, but I do have a shipping notification for that it finally mailed yesterday, which should be the 12th, so that'll be here probably at the end of this week or next week. I've gone ahead, I've removed my shipping label, or most of it, and already pre-sliced this open. Okay, so let's get right on into it, I guess. And there's like 20 items in this order, so yeah. Packing paper. Last one wasn't packed quite as well as this one is. Ooh, that's a lot of ammo. Yes, it's stacked high. I really did a nice job packing this up. So it's paper wrapped around it, and then there's stuff actually wrapped in paper. So anyhow, big deal. It's packing paper. What did I do? Okay, so here we go. First thing we have there's the DigicarrotOVAs, aka the Complete Specials collection. Previously I had gotten in Winter Garden, and I thought that Winter Garden was what I was missing, and I was totally wrong. I now have 2 copies of Winter Garden. So now I have the OVA specials. This is all 5 specials on 2 DVDs. Wow. So, but these were the OVAs. DigiCarrot, of course, is a mascot character for an electronics and media store chain in Japan, but it got its own anime series. OVAs, I think, were sold exclusively in their stores originally, like the finale movie, which was Winter Garden, or is that an OVA series? I don't know. Yeah, anyhow, so I got that. Hey, there's my invoice. Okay, get that out of the way. Oh boy. Let me try to get these out of here in a semblance of order. Okay. This is Girls Beyond the Wasteland. It is the complete 12-episode TV series. And it is 12 episodes on 3 DVDs. Maybe I have too much light going on here. It's just a bright day. Anyhow. Let's not pull those out and stick it in front of the camera until I can kind of do this in a semblance of order. Okay, that'll work. I'll do those. There we go. Bakuan. Complete collection. It looked interesting. It's one of these I keep passing up because it's like, I just don't know. And it's like, okay, we got to do it. It is 12 episodes on 3 DVDs. And I don't know a whole lot about it. It's like a high school. So in the United States, you used to have, in high schools, they offered what was called shop class. And in shop class, they taught mechanics. And typically every school year during period of a grade, the senior class would either rebuild a motorcycle or a car that had been donated to either the school or belonged to one of the students already. And they would do this like as a class assignment or a club assignment. Because in Japan it's a club. In the United States it would have been an elective class, meaning it was an optional class, meaning if you totally decided to skip it or even drop it, it never affected your end grade for when you graduated. But yeah, apparently in Japan they actually do have such clubs now. That's actually kind of cool. Because in this country they did away with all that stuff. They don't have any of that anymore. Okay, this one is I think one of the few I got that is dubbed. And it says Tanakakun is always listless. I can relate to that. And it is, let's see if we can zoom. The focus works better when it's bright, doesn't it? Anyhow, 12 episodes on 3 DVDs. Let's see. Got things that are in yeah, here we go, sequentials. Okay, so this is the entirety of the series, 2 seasons of Kenmoza. Or Moza? Kenmoza. Kenmoza and Hello Kenmoza, which is season 2, as you can see at the upper right there. And this was one I had been wanting, but I kept putting it off because it looked kind of interesting. But I think the premise is that one of the blonde-haired girls is having to learn Japanese because like her parents have moved to Japan for work or something. I don't know the whole story on that. I read a little bit, just a little bit, enough about it to say that it sounds interesting. Let's see here. Season 1 is 12 episodes on 2 DVDs. And Season 2 is also 12 episodes on 2 DVDs. So it's a 24-episode series, basically. That's interesting. And this stuff was so dirt cheap because they're trying to blow this out. This stuff's all out of print. I'm sure Sentai could reprint if they wanted to, as long as they still have the license. But why would you bother when they're dumping them? I mean, these were $3 a piece, or $2.99 each. So $6 for a 24-episode series, brand new, unheard of. Let's see. Oh, yes, this one always looks interesting, and I just, Momokion Sword, complete series. And this one's based on Japanese mythology about the child found in a giant peach. It's like, okay, yeah. The girl from the peach, pitted against the forces of evil. Oh, the punnery. Somebody is very good with their puns over at Sentai. Well, the autofocus is really bad. Okay, let's not bother to try that. It's 12 episodes on 2 DVDs. Okay. And we have Locodol. I did read up on what this one was, because some of these I was debating, because I was like, I'm going to buy 20, because it's still less than what the remainder of my budget was. And Locodol is about, okay, so in Japan they have local celebrities, and these girls are like, I guess you could say they work with like the tourism board or something. So they're like children of people that are like members of the business. What would be the best way of putting it? So over there, like if you have a whole bunch of shop owners that are on the same street, they might be part of a organized network. So they get together and they have meetings once a month or something, and they figure out ways to promote the businesses on their street, which isn't, it's a very sensible concept, really. It's just you don't see it in practice anymore elsewhere, because like here in the United States they try to make that a government thing, and so you have the Chamber of Commerce, which is and isn't government, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so yeah, but they're like girls that they use for advertising, and they're trying to break into like being singing idols or something. I don't know. It is 13 episodes on 3 DVDs. I thought it might be really interesting once I read about it. Yeah, see, exactly. So there's your tagline. It's not about fame and fortune. It's about helping the city and people you love, and that's kind of the concept there with the with it. And again, marketing using people that are in your family. So yeah. Okay, next one is another 2-season series, which I got both seasons of, and it is Hamatora. Or Hamatora and Hamatora. So Hamatora is season 1, Hamatora is season 2. I did read a little bit about this one. It's apparently these people are like a detective agency. And I was like, oh, well, if I had known that, I would have bought it years ago. My fault for not reading up on it. Anyhow, but I have such a backlog, it's not even funny. So this season 1 is 12 episodes on 3 DVDs. Season 2 is also 12 episodes on 3 DVDs, so it's another 24-episode series. Yeah, so one I'll look forward to watching, and I believe, yep, this one is actually dubbed. So this is actually a dubbed series. I don't have to be entirely awake to watch that. Okay, yep, oh boy, another two-parter. Alright, another series in two parts. Now this is not, I don't think this is seasons though, I think this was just a series that was broken into two parts. And that is, and I will throw out here, Shirobako, Collection 1, Collection 2. Again, I did read a little bit about this one, and basically it's like a, some sort of a reunion of a high school animation club in their adult lives, and they're going to try and put together and do an anime now that they're adults or something of that context. This series, let's see here, so it's 12 episodes on 2 discs for part 1, and yeah, so it's a grand total of 24 episodes. It's 12 episodes on 2 discs for each collection. This series just had a Blu-ray re-release, I believe in December, as a complete collection with a English dub. This is the original release, which is sub-only, but, you know, $6 to buy a sub-only versus however much the newly released dubbed Blu-ray version costs. You know, it's, you know, there's not a lot of, it's not hard to make a decision on that, you know. If it's over 20 bucks, you know, if you're saving more than double the cost buying a sub-only, there are some titles I would flip for the dub over the sub, but I think with that one I'll be okay. Okay, next one. Now this is kind of a two-parter. Now I own the rest of this already, and that is Hakooki, or Hakooki, I think is how it's pronounced. It's a samurai series set in the age of samurai. This is the theatricals. Now I already own seasons 1 through 3 and the OVAs. I never bought this because it was, I didn't see a point, because basically this is a theatrical, movie 1's a theatrical remake of season 1, 2 is a theatrical remake of season 2, but I did read that they actually do have new, like, scenes and footage in these, so it's not like it's an edit, it actually is a reanimation. Now in Japan, this is actually a video game series that was popular a few years ago. It was mostly visual novels. Same title. We did get 3 of the games in the United States. We got the action-based PSP game, which that was like a remake of the first visual novel as a action game, kind of like a Samurai Warriors type game. And then we got the first 2, the remasters of the first 2 visual novels on the PlayStation Vita. And those were, all of that I think was, I'm trying to think here. The 2 visual novels were released by Idea Factory. I actually own them. And then the action game on the PSP was released, I believe, by Axis Games. And I think, come to think of it, Axis Games may have even done the PlayStation 3 version of the first visual novel, but the definitive one is the Vita version, because that actually is the remaster with additional content. But yeah, so these are the theatricals. This is a theatrical version, Chapter 1, Wild Dance of Kyoto, and his full title is actually Hakooki, Demon of the Fleeting Blossom. But yeah, it's, let's see here. Yeah, no, 95 minutes. Yeah, so the first movie's 95 minutes. I mean, that makes sense, because they were like 12 and 13 episode seasons. And then the second movie, which is subtitled Warrior Spirit of the Blue Sky, is also 95 minutes. That's interesting. Now, as far as I am aware, basically the franchise lost popularity in Japan by the time these were coming out, and so they never did, as far as I'm aware, movie 3. Movie 3, which would have been based on season 3, was dropped. And I believe there was a 4th movie that was considered in the planning. Like they always do these, so they have like planning committees that do all this stuff in Japan, which is fantastic. That's why everything's so well thought out. They think it all out before they do it, which is the smart way to do something. Okay. Next up, okay, this is an OVA. It's very short. It's called This Boy Can Fight Aliens. Now, there were 2 of these This Boy OVAs, and as far as I'm aware, they're not connected. They're just like standalones. But I guess they were like from the same like creative mind, director or something. I don't know. But this is actually really short. So this is yeah, it's a 30-minute OVA. It is subbed and dubbed. Includes what? Includes 3 mini features. Well, okay. He could save the world if he could just remember how. The other one in the This Boy series, though, that one is sold out. That was the one I was the least interested in because it was blatantly yaoi, or yaoi, or however you want to pronounce that. And that was This Boy Caught a Merman. And yeah, that one's been sold out for a long time because fangirls. This one apparently is just more generic, which I'm fine with it being more generic. But they had this on sale for like $1.99. And it's like, again, an OVA. You know, back in the old days I used to buy OVAs for like 15, 20 bucks at the record shop. You know, that were brand new releases. And I didn't hesitate to do that. And for $1.99, you know, that's used DVD pricing. I mean, that's a penny cheaper than a used DVD at Goodwill. What is that saying about the world? Okay, the next one was actually quite interesting. Let's see here. This one, Natsuki Rendezvous. And it's like, the thing with this one is that it's like all of your main characters are adults. And it is like, it's a love story, so the woman there in the screen, I can't remember if she's a widow or what, but she has like a flower shop, or she works at a flower shop, and basically it's a more adult love story in context of it's not a high school setting or something stupid like that. It's what? Yeah, it's 11 episodes on 2 DVDs. It is sub only. Roka tends her rosebed, and the Yuki's blue because Roka's husband is dead. Yeah, so she is a widow. Alright, so, but yeah, I was like, well, that's interesting. You don't see a whole lot of this stuff get licensed. You know, I mean, everybody, there's a lot of this stuff gets made in Japan, but not a lot of it tends to get licensed because the general consensus of thought is that everybody wants shonen anime, which is really heavy action stuff, like Naruto and such. And they're not entirely wrong. That's very popular. I understand the popularity. I like it too. But it's nice to have something different every now and then, you know. Okay, my last 2-parter that I got, and this is partially a re-release from something that was released by another publisher in the past, and that is Strawberry Marshmallow. Okay, and this one's like a comedy about a bunch of kids in elementary school. Now, in the distant past, we're talking, you know, in the early 2000s or mid 2000s, we did get Strawberry Marshmallow. So this one's dubbed, but Sentai was able to also license the OVA series. The OVA series was not previously released outside of Japan, or at least not in the United States. It is sub only, but to get it all, you know, from one publisher, matching packaging, you know, I mean, I'm not going to go hunting down the individual volumes of Strawberry Marshmallow, let's put it that way. It would cost more for one volume than I'm paying used than I got the entire set for. So, and I think this one was priced a little differently. I think this was $4 or $3.99, and I think the OVA was $2.99. But the series is it's only 12 episodes on 3 DVDs. It's not a long series, but it was released on 3 individual volumes originally here, and it is dubbed, like I said. But then the OVA, the complete OVA series, that is 5 episodes on 2 DVDs, and it is sub only because, again, like that is a new that's an actual new release that was never released here previously. So, you know, people that had the original TV series, it's like, you know, Sentai wasn't going to force them to repurchase the TV series just to get the new content, which is nice. Yeah. Yeah, 3 OVA episodes and 2 encore episodes is how it says that works out. Anyhow, and of course the price was absolutely fantastic. And we're going to do, I'm down to just 2 more titles here that we got in this. Samurai Jam. Another series that actually, when I read about it, it sounded really interesting. It is basically, I think it's, I don't know what the era for context is for the setting, but basically the Japanese government has outlawed rock music, and so this is like an underground rock band rebelling against the government's crazy enforcement of no rock music. So I was like, well, that sounds kind of interesting, actually. And it is 12 episodes on 2 DVDs. And it has this interesting tagline of, what if instead of banning the gun, Japan banned the guitar? It's a really, sounds like a really interesting context. There's a series from another publisher out there, I think it's called Shinomita, where the Japanese government banned all forms of ecchi and pornographic material, and I think this is going to be kind of along the same lines of what I'm reading in this. And the last title from this order, 1 Week Friends. And this is one, I didn't read the description. I actually came across a video. A man in Germany was talking about the fact this is one of the few series that has been licensed by the only publisher of anime in Germany. And he was explaining that they only license and release a couple of 2 or 3 series a year, which is, small time out operation, but they dub everything in German. And he was explaining, in English I should say, because he's obviously bilingual, his video was in English, broken though it may be, but he was explaining what a surprising series this was, and that he really enjoyed this series, and I was like, well, I've seen it on the Sentai website for a long time, but I never bought it. I guess now's the time to bite the bullet and actually, buy this and see what, it's about. But basically, the main girl there, has a medical condition. I don't know if it's brought in by an accident or what, but basically her memory works in a looping kind of a system there, and every week she forgets everything that she did the week before. And so basically the boy who likes her there on the left has to reacquaint himself with her every week. Yeah, it's interesting. Very interesting concept. I don't know much more than that. That's just basically your plot. It is 12 episodes on 2 DVDs, and it is a sub-only release for the English market. But apparently there is a German release of this, so if you're fluent in German and you want to hunt it down, I can't imagine it being cheap if you did, though. But yeah, so that is the last of my second holiday order from Sentai Filmworks for the holiday 2020 sale. And like I said, there's still a back-ordered title that's supposed to be in sometime in the next few business days, and I will do a follow-up video with that, and that'll be the conclusion of the